Welcome to Slabbed Podcast, episode number 47, where the grades matter and there are no rules. How you doing, Professor Oak?
Wonderful. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Full. I just slammed like 7 cookies. It was phenomenal. My wife made probably 2,000 cookies yesterday with her and her sister. So
Oh my God.
yeah,
What
it
I
was
do
pretty
for
wild.
cookie right now? Was that hot chocolate?
No, it's milk and cookies.
I thought that was like cocoa and cookies situation going on.
God.
But you're getting in the spirit.
Extra sugar, dipping my sugar in the sugar. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
You've been a good boy this year. You're on the good list for the sugar, right? So proud of you.
Yeah, there's some cheat weeks for months, but
a cheat day.
Just kind of black out every once in a while. Just start consuming carbs and sugars, but it's all good fun as long as there is a good balance, you know. You don't want to overdo it.
Love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I look forward to this, man. We're wrapping up. I think we should announce it now. Next week, we're going to be live for our next episode. So
first live.
That'll be dope.
So exciting. I can't wait.
First live a year later. Damn.
Can't wait. Amazing.
We're going to be just shooting the crap, trading some cards probably, talking to the chat, just hanging out. So that'll be sweet. Looking forward to it. It's on the calendar.
So we're going to bring some sealed product. I don't know if you have anything. I'm going to
have to get some.
I have some stuff to open. You don't have to. I mean, like you say.
I want some 151. Try and fill some binder spots, so I'm going to trade you.
Okay. I'll have some stuff. I got some stuff that I can see, some pretty cool stuff, and I got some pretty weird stuff. And I figured we could rip a few things. Hopefully, we have you guys in the chat and we can talk with you. You can ask questions and interact for the first ever time live that you've waited all year for. All of your Christmas dreams are coming true. So, very excited for that. I've been dancing in my seat for the past 2 weeks thinking about it. So,
oh yeah, no, that'll be cool. Yep. I'm looking forward to it. Been a long time coming. Long time. That'll be episode 48. That'll be cool.
Yeah, we're going to be celebrating a year very soon. We're very close to it. It's cool.
Thanks to all y'all. That's why it's not the main reason. We'd probably still be doing this. We had like 17 people watching, but it's good to read all the comments. Keeps us going. I feel like all the spicy comments.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the I don't know, interactivity, I guess. I don't know, everyone's just been so involved. I feel like everyone's been really engaged this year, and I feel very fortunate that we have such a good, I was saying to you earlier, we've got such a good community of people and our friends. I feel like we're a good group of friends and a lot of people that really enjoy it. I want to be an active, participant, and we get to engage with you guys and interact, and it makes it enjoyable for everyone. It's been a very positive experience this year doing this podcast. Obviously we've had a couple of bumps with sickness and stuff, but all in all, we've given our all to this year, like absolutely given our all. There's been no slacking off at all. So I feel good about it. I'm glad I've been able to do it with you, Josh. You're a rock star, and I'm excited to celebrate in the live chat next week. Rip some packs and do a bit of trades. Let's see where we're at with the old binder, the 151 binder, and should be a good time.
Some beers for me, anyways. You got your bourbon.
You are cheat day.
Oh yeah, that'll be start that week off right.
Drink to that. I'm starting a week early.
Oh yeah. Yeah, again, appreciate everybody. So I look forward to seeing you guys live next week. on this channel, so that'll be awesome. Need to make sure we have to make sure the channel's eligible to go live. I think we got to initiate it like at least 48 hours to get approval or something.
I got it up ready. I'm on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So last week, spicy comment of the week was actually a tie between it was Max Potion and Pole Father. And I think we have Pole Fathers on here somewhere.
Okay.
But if not, RIP Pole Father, because he shipped late for Secret Santa. Max Potion said with 9 likes, the hobby is as alive as ever. And I think it's not that spicy. But it's similar to something that was said last week by Felipe de Sosa. That he was saying it's a great time. You can go to the stores, you can buy all this different stuff, and it's available, no scalpers. So very similar, in my opinion. I think it's like almost the same. The hobby being a lot, maybe it is kind of similar. But yeah, the hobby, as in Pokemon, is very alive and well. Then you look over the fence, look at Yu-Gi-Oh! It's on fire. It's incinerating. Not a good situation going on there. So it makes me really appreciate the Pokemon things I have and the things I'm doing with it. And I'm loving watching that thing torch on the other side of the fence. It's entertaining to see that, because I'm not like, I have more Yu-Gi-Oh cards than most people I know, but I don't have $10,000 in Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't have probably $8,000 in Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So like it's a bunch of stuff, but it's a bunch of lower stuff, like a bunch. So it's not big L's I'm taking, but I think Pokemon's doing great. It's a hell of a time. I love being able to go. I was just at my LGS. They had boxes of Lorcana, like at $150. It was cheaper than TCG Player that day. I'm like, this is freaking dope. Could have snapped one of those up just to open it. It felt decently cheap. Yeah, it's really cool. 151 was there in abundance. So cool, man. I'm looking forward to ripping some next week. What do you think? Hobby alive?
I think yeah, the hobby is alive. I absolutely think that's correct. I think that's right on the money. I think you were kind of saying, you're talking about Phil's comment last week where things like available and you can get
Yeah.
stuff, but I felt like it was alive when stuff wasn't available and we couldn't grade stuff. I felt like it was electric. So what does it mean, like, to be alive? I don't know, but I think maybe I'm a little biased because I'm in it and I'm immersed in it. I mean, I'm like head under the water, like I don't even know. I'm deep diving. Honestly, like I feel like I'm just in it every day. It's what I do. It's the hobby that I live and breathe more than any of my other hobbies, and it feels alive to me because I'm surrounded by it all the time and by people that are in it, and people that are in it full time and part time or just love it or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know. It's confusing to me to think of, are we more alive or less alive than when you could get product or couldn't get product, or when stuff was cheap, when stuff was at the hype. Is it still at the
Yeah.
hype? Is it not? Like, I just feel like we've been through so many different roller coaster emotions and like parts of this hobby. I don't even know what alive means anymore. But to me, it feels alive right now. I feel like people are buying and selling and things are happening, are excited, pulling 151. I don't know. I feel like everybody's in it. Some have dropped out. Some new people. It's kind of all over the place. Good
Yeah,
comment.
I think the alive is more of like it's healthy, living, breathing, good. And I
Mhm.
think the shit that was 2 years ago was not healthy. It
Mm.
was your Aunt Jemima just pounding tons of alcohol and just living on a high and just going buck wild.
Yeah,
It
makes sense.
was insane. So I don't know. I think this is healthy, but there is crazy alive, like Aunt Jemima. But I think it's healthy alive, so it's good. It's good. It's good stuff. What about your spicy topic for next week?
Podcasts are much better than recorded or live content. Your turn.
Yeah. So I'm drawing a blank. This is always the toughest part, man. Coming up with a good one because it's been a while since I won, so it feels bad. It's been like at least 2 weeks, and for me that's an effing drought. Like it's like I feel like I'm in the middle of holes, digging holes. Um,
Louis Soshaw reference there. I see what you did.
I just recently found out his name is Louis Sacker.
What?
Louis Sacker. That's
Always
the
said
name it was pronounced.
Soshaw.
So did I. Zero. I watch him because he streams Twitch.
He does?
Yeah, he's a
Doing
huge. He's
what?
social. He plays video games, opens Pokemon packs.
Stop. He's
He
serious?
does. Yeah.
No way.
No, yeah. He's
Like you're messing with me. He's serious.
I'm not. He makes content. Dead ass.
No way. I'm mind blown. That's crazy.
I love that movie. I loved Holes and all of that. I love huge Shia LaBeouf and Zero fan. He didn't start it until like I feel like 3-ish years ago, and he just blew up instantly because he was Zero, and here he is doing video games and opening content, and
Oh my god. I had no idea. That was
yep,
like
he
the
just
first as a kid. My sister bought me that book. One of my sisters bought me that book, Holes, and it was like the first book that wasn't a little kid book that I ever had.
yeah.
It was like a real, it was a real book that I owned, shall I say? Because I'd rented, like I got a book from the library. I read Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. The Hobbit was the first like adult, more mature book that I ever read. But that was the first one that like I owned, and I thought that was cool. That's crazy. I didn't realize it was doing that stuff. I have to check that out.
Yep. Do recommend. So yeah, my spicy topic for next week is if you have not read the book Holes, you're a bitch.
Hopefully, not too many bitches in the comments today.
There's gonna be a lot of bitches, I'll tell you that much. Lots of bitches.
Where's your spice, guys?
All right, I'm gonna let you take the next one. Was Pull Father's tying comment?
We're getting pulled onto Coffee Talk podcast for that one for sure. Okay, Pool Father. We
Holes.
need we need to stop spreading the word. It's a buyer's market, so we can buy more. Pool Father, I see what you're doing there. You little trickster. He's saying we should tell people that it's a terrible market and it's not time to buy, so that we can all gobble up all the lovely turkeys that are going on. And it's all over the place. I've seen stuff sell high, I've seen stuff sell lower. I've seen less inventory of certain things, more inventory of certain things. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's all over the place. I don't like the idea of influencing any kind of purchasing or buying or whatever. But for me right now, buy as much as you can of whatever you love. I think it's a great time, honestly, to buy. I've been buying a few random things pretty cheap and nothing too crazy. So I'd urge you to do the same. Something you like, just buy it. It's whatever. YOLO. Might die in a car crash next week. Just do it. What about you?
Life's too short, man. Pole Father is one of those guys. He's buying stuff that nobody else buys. By nobody else, I mean most of the stuff he's buying right now is like Pop 10 and lower cards, first edition base CGC 10s.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the people that are spreading the word aren't really influencing the people that are buying those cards competing with him. I don't like we have said in the past few videos that yeah, it's a buyer's market, it's a good time. Most of them mother effers don't really care about what we have to say, but maybe they do.
It's a
Those
different
cards
level.
are those are like $4,000 plus for each card. Most of the time, depending on the card, it's different. It's there's just less out there, and I'm making this specific to Pole Father because he's the one that said it. There's just less out there, so I think there's a lot less influence on that. And it's more so you might be stuck with more collusion with some of that stuff, like shill binning, ultra scary with super low pop stuff like that. Um, I don't think the influence of us and people saying it's a buyer's market is more so on that stuff. I think there are really nice $1,000 cards and $500 cards that are going pretty low. Those are usually the ones being auctioned, but also there is crazy heritage auctions and stuff like that popping off still. But yeah, I don't think we're influencing much of that. But I guess there is probably bigger YouTubers that I might not follow that might be saying it, and I wish he maybe would have said one of them or something. But maybe that's what he was talking about. Maybe that was happening.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with that one. I think you're right. I think you're nail on the head. Maybe it's something a bit more specific could help with with answering it. But it's it's fun to think of there being markets and there's like ups and downs and when to buy, when to sell, and treating it like almost like stocks and values and valuations on this stuff. That like tickles my data side of interest, I guess. And I don't really think it is that much like that. Despite the thinking that'd be fun and cool and interesting and stuff, I don't think it is as much as we think, honestly.
Have you
I
ever
think
gone on TCG Fish?
a while ago, I remember doing it when I did my What's in a 10 video. I played around with a few different sites. Um, I think that was probably one of the ones that I was checking. It's got price stuff on, right?
Yeah, it's got market trends and it's got like the S&P 500 of Pokemon and yeah, it's got all this different market stuff.
Yeah, I think I
I
just
was just wondering because I haven't
I
got into it.
I just feel like there's if you want something, you can get it. So isn't it always a buyer's market? Like
Like
like what I guess what creates a buyer's market? Like how do we define that? Like what I don't I don't know.
things just constantly going to auction.
I feel like I've always seen loads of auctions for stuff, even when things were high. I mean, we saw illustrators going to auction,
It was
right?
scarcer than I feel like there was less when the market was booming, and now it's every
Less.
month.
So is it volume or is it
I don't know.
prices? This or is it both? Or is it demand? Because it's not necessarily because we're talking about volume and prices. That's not indicative of demand. That like you could have two people that drive the price up, or you could have 1,000 people that don't that still want the card. It's I think it's just so like subjective the market. We could have a whole video on it. It's so interesting to me. I think it is fun, and also we have a new set every couple of months. It's like is it buyer's market for that set, or is it like is the other one now not a buyer's market? I don't know. The hobby's fun. It's fun. It's all fun for me. It's super interesting. It's part of why I love it. It's a good
Yeah.
comment there. Mr.
Definitely.
ES.
Next one, Mr. Walrus. Spicy comment from last week's video, or this, I don't remember, but yes, last week's video. He said, it's not that Lorcana or One Piece are so good that they're growing. It's that Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon dropped the ball after the pandemic. People need to spend money on cards, and they filled the void. Now people are hooked. What about MetaZoo?
Stop.
I feel like I'm serious. I feel like MetaZoo has been out longer than Lorcana and One Piece, and was there.
Mm-hmm.
Their timing was even more optimal than Lorcana and One Piece. Lorcana and One Piece came right after COVID, literally last year, right? Or the beginning of this year, maybe. It was like end of last year, is maybe a year ago. And I feel like MetaZoo was right there, like primed to succeed. Maybe they are. I don't know, but it doesn't seem great from the things I see in Discords and the things I'm hearing. But for that reason, I disagree on that. But I also think that Lorcana and One Piece are pretty special. Like you got Flesh and Blood, and that one is not as popular. And that came out, I think, both before both of those, One Piece and Lorcana. Like the timing was nailed by a couple of these other TCGs, and they're not as successful as what appears to be Lorcana and One Piece. I think those are just mechas that just came out in 2023. Like we have not had something like these. Lorcana being a Disney TCG and One Piece being the biggest anime in the world, what seems to be great TCGs, and pop off in like the same time frame, the exact same timing almost, which is crazy to me. Yeah, so I think Magic, I think Yu-Gi-Oh's always done Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. It's always been the same. Reprint. And then main decks cost $1,000 to run, which is absolutely absurd. Magic sucks. It is what it is. They're just they're English Weiss Schwartz, and they're only going to succeed when they're printing Lord of the Rings sets. Pokemon, I think they dropped the ball during the boom, like you said, not after the pandemic. I feel like you said in your comment, Pop dropped the ball after the pandemic. I feel like that's when they did great. I feel like that's when the supply was there, but like right during it is when they were getting pummeled, in my opinion. So that makes more sense to me. It's like they dropped the ball during the pandemic, no product on stores. Let me spend my $1,400 from the government on something, and they were buying everything. So I don't know. What are your thoughts before I spend another 20 minutes on this comment?
Yeah, you touched on a lot there. I'm just thinking of those three: Lorcana, One Piece, and you brought up Fab. I feel like Lorcana has a great amount of people with a little bit of interest, and I feel like Fab has a little bit of people with a great amount of interest, and I feel like One Piece has a good amount of people with a good amount of interest. They're like right in the middle. I feel like we have each end of the spectrum of engagement and level of people, and then One Piece is right in the middle. They seem to have some kind of sweet spot where they to me seem like optimal, I guess, when I compare the two, and the amount of people and amount of interest that are like, both ends of it, which I think is super interesting. I'm glad you brought Fab up because I know we don't talk about that a lot, but it does interest me on just very few people that I hear talk about it, but the people that I do hear talk about it, are like really, really into it. They really love it. They've got an incredibly dedicated fan base. And I know Mason's touched on that before too. He's had me on some of it. Lil Connor, I feel like no one's really that into it, but there's a lot of people talking about it and stuff. So yeah, it's weird because the other thing which you kind of touched on there is those three are new and they're fun and exciting and it's interesting because we haven't seen that before. We haven't seen One Piece cards 20 years ago. We didn't see Lil Corner cards 10 years ago. We didn't see Fab cards 5 years ago. You know, it's all fairly new and fresh and it's built into something where we've been trying to satisfy a need and a desire to collect and chase and greed and, you know, all these things. And they're fulfilling that like easily right now after a period of us struggling, itching, and you know, feeling like we need to get something for that long with PSA shutting down and the pandemic and not being able to buy sealed product in the stores that we wanted, that kind of stuff. And then suddenly now we can pick any of those three and the older stuff, Yu-Gi-Oh, Metazoo is kind of older, like that came out during pandemic, but um Pokemon Magic, you know, sports cards, that kind of stuff. Like we've always been able to get that. Yeah, there's a new set, but it's not new. It's still the same Pokemon. It's still the same like TCG. You know what it is.
Yeah.
So it's cool seeing like One Piece and Lil Connor and Fab and you know some of these other ones have some engagement. For me, I think that's pretty interesting and exciting. I don't know what the future holds for them. But I get what he's saying.
Magic's gonna
With
die. No.
I mean, maybe, but it seems like it's a bit of a steam train for people that have done it for so long and they're so invested in it. I don't think they'll ever could ever give up. It just feels like a lot of people are hooked. But Morris says right there, you know, people are hooked on just this new stuff, filling the void. I don't know if it's specific to those sets for me. You know, when I'm speaking to the question, I think it's the filling the personal void of wanting to collect and find something fun and something you can be interested in and feel successful in because I think that's another thing with collecting is you need to be able to measure some type of success and whether that's getting good grades when you grade it or filling a binder when you get all the cards that you want or trading the card that you want your chase card that you've been looking after for so long or playing the game and winning a tournament or coming third in a tournament or whatever. There's so many aspects to it. I think that is the hobby. That is the community. That's the heart of it. Is finding some success and satisfaction from it, and they are definitely bringing it for a lot of people. Those so, but so are the older stuff. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that.
Yeah. I was just looking up the guess when Fab came out.
I don't know. It's got to be 3 or 4 years ago at least, right? When was
October
it?
11th, 2019. So like exactly 5 months before they announced the pandemic.
Oh wow, I
So
didn't realize it was that long. I thought it was a little bit more recent than that. I knew it was the older of those three, but I didn't realize it was that new. But still, like when you think of that compared to like Pokemon and Magic, I mean,
yeah. Yeah, that's just kind of what I meant. Like Flesh and Blood, though, they were like primed to pick up
yeah,
the slack of the other TCGs because it was new. Whereas these Lorcana came out 4 months ago in August. Like that's so new.
yeah,
Like it's almost like the MetaZoo hype new era still. Like when MetaZoo first dropped, dummy prices, right? Like we're
mhm.
still in that time frame. We're only
It's
4 months out from release.
the hype leading up to it. I don't know if Fab had that much hype leading up to it.
Not 19, no.
I don't remember
Which is
people
probably
talking
why
about it.
we probably didn't even hear about it until 2021
Yeah,
when it
I
picked up
didn't.
some steam. Yeah.
I'd never heard of it. Yeah, you're right. But I've heard nothing
Yeah.
but Lorcana and Metzu and One Piece. Like that's all I've heard all this year. Literally, there's been so much hype leading up to all that stuff.
more mainstream. Where Flesh and Blood was kind of just like a incarnation of its own matter. It wasn't coming from a different IP where both those other ones did. MetaZoo was more pumped by
That's a good
celebrity
point.
influence. But
Yeah, less organic. Yeah. Yeah,
and it was a lot of
that's
Pokemon influence.
a good point. Yeah, good points there. I
Good
agree.
comment though, Walrus. Very nice.
Evan said, he said, unit, people will get hurt blindly investing in modern sealed. I feel attacked. I don't know if I'm investing. I don't know what we classify as investing. Is it investing if you hold it for a month? Is it investing if you
Over a
hold it
year.
for a year? Is that the classification? Okay.
Today it is.
Okay. Greening's classification of a year. I'm probably investing. Yeah, probably investing in modern sealed, but I'm also invested in vintage raw and vintage sealed and modern raw and everything in between and stuff that's ridiculous and no one would ever want to buy. So I don't know. It's all just like do what you want to do. Just have fun with it. And if you want to try and make money with it, try and make money with it. You know, do what you think is something that you enjoy and that you would envision doing well in the future, something that you believe in and your gut tells you something, not someone in YouTube or someone in Discord tells you something. Just run with it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Don't spend money you don't have.
Yep. I agree with him. People will get hurt blindly investing in modern sealed. So that's the one thing I don't fully understand, but I agree because it says blindly. Blindly means you don't have a lot of understanding what the hell you're doing. But what does that mean exactly? So my thought blindly means you turn on a YouTube channel. I am not a Pokemon guy. So my name's Steve. I come in here. I currently only play with drones. Oh, wow, this is a cool Pokemon investing video. Click. Buy now. V Union Dubwool boxes. Buy them all up. $20 a box. You guys are going to make millions of dollars. Oh, click buy now, buy now, buy now. Affiliate link. Dude gets a pump. Yeah, you could definitely get hurt blindly investing, not knowing what you're doing. Some of that
Yes.
stuff, but if you held those Dubwool boxes for 5 years, you might be doing okay.
don't tell people that.
What do they cost? I know those came out 3-4 years ago or whatever.
They're like $18. Yeah.
No. They got evolutions in them probably. No, but that's the things like how low, what's your investing period? Like for me, I would say if I buy something with intentions of holding it over a year, that's a long-term hold on my inventory that is sitting vested in my closet. So, yeah, anything under a year is kind of like I plan on selling this. It's going to happen this year. Let's dance. But yeah, so I've invested, but not blindly. But people doing blind things can get hurt easier, even just walking.
I mean, it's as simple as a click of the button on your phone.
Thanks,
PayPal
TikTok.
takes a picture of your face or whatever. Boom. Yep. Click checkout. Done. Someone says does something. You've had a couple of Bud Lights or whatever. You know, Tim is drinking today, and boom, done. You're an investor.
Yeah.
You're a Poke investor. It's a tough call.
Big shout out to E-Unit for winning the Cosmo and Wanda Thor card. Also, damn, that boy looked nice.
Got it yesterday. Looks good.
Hell yeah. Fat Belly collects with the comment, yikes. Drama of any kind in the hobby is needed to keep the buzz buzzing.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. I love me some drama. Um, I don't like fake TV drama at all. Like
mm,
I'm all set with CSI,
housewives.
Housewives. I'm all set.
Mhm.
Even reality TV for some reason, just because I don't know, I'm not plugged in. I'm not relate. It's not relatable to me. But when it's other 30-year-old men in their basements talking about cardboard and they're getting mad at each other, shit's hilarious. I'm here for some funny ass drama. I like comedy, and some of it's funny. Like there's some funny ass shit out there. So, um, yeah, keep the buzz buzzing if you want to call it that. Totally agree with you, Fat Belly. I love me a good summer drama. Even other every other YouTube category like Penguin, Moist Critical. That's all the dude talks about is freaking drama. He does live react videos to every possible thing. Drama. That's literally how he gets that's all of his videos. I'm there for it. I subscribe to him to see this dude react to Pokemon. I don't even know what the hell she did 2 weeks ago, but she did something, and I watched the damn video. Yeah, drama's fun. What about
Okay.
you?
Apparently, I need to subscribe to Mr. Moist. I think what you're talking about a little bit is the like car crash TV type stuff where like stuff's unfolding and people are saying things and it's all crazy, right? You like you can't, even though it's awful, like nothing good's gonna come from it. You can't help but watch. It's that kind of stuff, isn't it? Like it's
Yep.
just almost. I don't know, like you're not gonna extract anything from it, but watching it makes you realize it gives you almost perspective on how vanilla or how like simple or enjoyable like your life is or your hobby is. There's stuff that I've seen and I'm like, wow, I'm in a really good spot. Like there's been a couple of things like that, and I'm like, wow, like I feel like really good about where I'm at right now. It's reassuring almost, I guess. And I don't
Yeah.
know if it's needed though. That I feel like that's a really strong word for that. I don't feel like I need any of it. I'd be more than content if I never saw drama again. And my wife, here's a little personal note for you guys. My wife gets a little bit annoyed that I don't like drama, like in real life too. I don't like talking bad about people, my friends, and like whatever. Oh, she did this, she said that. Like I don't want to do that, and I think she thinks that I'm like keeping it secret or something. I don't know, but I'm not. I like to see the good in people. I think that's what it is. I think I'm op- op- optimistic, and I try to think as much as I can. I get annoyed, I get frustrated, and I'll say stuff every so often, but I always feel bad about it after. And I think the buzzing, the fat belly collector talking about there is almost to no end. Like like where does it go? What do you do with that kind of thing? And for me, I like a result. I like to know that something's going to have value and something's going to occur that's going to be a good thing. And I don't feel like that about some of it. So I'd like for the drama to settle down and us to have fun and play games and chat with each other and open packs. And I think I'm a little like maybe a little naive, a little elementary with it, but is what it is. At least I'm self-aware enough to know.
Yeah,
It,
kind of just to tie in my next comment, it's similar, like relatable. my comment was seeing mom and dad fighting is really sad.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the drama. Me saying that was like I don't like seeing person A and person B in the hobby fighting. I don't like seeing these two pillars talking, yelling at each other. It's sad to see them both get tore down. And it's crazy, and it is drama, but it's like you said, it's like a car crash. You're like, what's next on the next? Like they cliffhang me, they blue ball me at the end of it. They're like, see what happens on the next episode when I kick them square in the dick. Like, great. I want to see how that goes down. Like it's going to be interesting. And yeah, it's
How many
we're
people?
on.
Let me ask you this: how many people have you seen say, when are we doing a celebrity boxing match with this Pokemon YouTuber and this Pokemon YouTuber? Like, I feel like I've seen that comment 1,000 times. Like when different situations and things have popped up. Oh, I'd love to see this person do a boxing fight with this Pokemon YouTuber, that kind of stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah,
no, I'd like to see them open packs together. Like, kind of like I'd like to be in the boxing ring with some of them people. I love fighting, but I don't know if I'm like actively seeking out to watch that. I don't know. I
yeah,
think
we're
I'd rather do it myself more than wish it on others. I'd love to get in the ring with a few people. I'd get in the ring
I'm
with you.
a
You'd demolish me, but I'd still do it for the just for the lols.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. I've never swung a punch in my life, so you probably beat my ass.
But would you wanna see other YouTubers fight each other?
That'd be some funny shit. That'd be some. I
You're
recommend.
like the exact opposite.
That'd be some funny. I want to see Java Akuma square up with Mertz. Tell me you wouldn't watch that shit.
I'd watch every second of it. And that's what I'm saying. It's the car crash. Like I wouldn't be able to not watch it, but like I don't have like a passion to seek it out. I guess it's weird. I don't know.
Who you taking in that fight?
Java and Mertz. That's a tough one.
You haven't met
I
either?
met either of them in person. No,
Jesus Christ. You need to get
who's
out more.
taller?
Mertz, few inches. Java's definitely stockier. Could lay him out.
That
Mertz
makes
got
it
a tough
tough.
jaw, though.
How about I fight them both first, and then however that goes, I can decide between them. Let's do that. I love both of you guys. Trust me, I don't want to kick the shit out of you. I'm not
Yeah, Mertz would win by rear naked choke in the second round.
spicy.
Love you, Java. Mertz has got a reach on him, though. I feel like he's got some length on him.
I mean, we're
That's
tall
what would do it.
guys. I think you know the benefits just as much as me of being tall and having that reach. Like I feel very confident physically being tall.
Yeah, I'd body slam you. It'd be game seismic toss your ass. It'd be game over. No shot of survival.
What was that? What was that Miltank move that like made me want to cry in the game? It was like roll out or roll back or something.
Roll out.
Was it
Just
roll
go
out?
over and over and over.
Oh my god! So
You'd
annoyed.
be a
I can
roll up.
still
You'd be a roll
feel
up.
how annoyed I was at that move.
That thing clapped cheeks.
It was that girl, wasn't it? What was her name?
Courtney? No.
No, it was an E, wasn't it? Ebony. Oh, that's gonna really bug me. I don't know. I remember that move really used to piss me off.
Whitney.
Whitney's Miltank. Oh my god,
What a bitch.
Whitney. What a
Whitney's a bitch.
bitch.
First woman I ever hated.
Hated her with a passion. Yeah, I'd be quite happy for her to go in a fight with Java. Like, I'd root for that for sure. With no mill tanks involved, no Pokemon will be harmed in the making of that fight. For sure. Anyway, Z Pike, let's move on swiftly from that. He said, or she said, well, they said, male slabs have an untapped market potential. Changed my mind. Very biased from my end. I mean, what else can I say? It sounds incredible. I'm for it. I will take a PSA 10 male slab any day. Hopefully vacuum sealed so it doesn't go moldy.
Mayo slabs. So we're talking about effing mayonnaise in slabs.
Mayo master set. I mean, what we've got like Hellman's and all the different like store brands and oh my god, I mean, unlimited potential.
I still can't unsee a video I shared in the Discord of a guy scooping mayonnaise on his pizza and slamming it. I almost vomited. Yeah. On to the next question.
I'll video
Great
it
comment,
next time.
Z-Pike.
I have a pizza ready Thursday. Tomorrow, I'm having pizza and mayo. I'll do a little video for you. I'll throw it in the Discord for everyone. You can enjoy it.
Anthony Wilms 5221 said base set unlimited Charizard PSA 9 is the most undervalued card in the hobby. It is low pop at 7,000 plus when you consider the number of people in this hobby that would like to own it. It is the equivalent of the 86 Gear or Fleer Jordan, yet at a fraction of the price.
I kind of get it.
I'll let you take it first.
I mean, honestly, 7,000. When we think about how many billions of cards have been getting made, it just feels like there's very few. 7,000, 8,000, even like 20,000. That just feels like so very few compared to how many people want that card. I think a lot of people, honestly, with Charizard, when we're talking about base set unlimited, first set Charlottes, whatever, like those are OG ones. Most people in the hobby aren't searching that because they think they're just crazy money. Like people aren't chasing that card because that's like the one. That's the card. So that's why I think it's undervalued. And I think when more people realize that, oh, wait, I probably could sell some stuff and actually chase that card, or, oh, it's only this much money, or this is what it's at right now in the future, I think it would become more desirable. And it is a very interesting topic. That is one of the most interesting spicy topics tonight, I think, after reading through them. It's very fascinating to me because I do kind of get it. Like I think I see what they're saying. And when Anthony's talking about the Fleer Jordan, again, like right now, I think people understand it of like what it is and where it's at and why it's worth that kind of money. I think, yeah, PSA 9 is just trailing behind for some reason.
I was just looking up. I'm on PSA's website, looking at the total number grading and crap. Interesting. Like I was looking at the total 86 Fleer basketball just in total of how many cards were graded, 400,000, and then versus the 1999 Pokemon game, 735,000. Which is crazy because the 86 Fleer is probably one of the most graded basketball sets, I feel like. Charizard, as he said, is sitting really high. And then Michael Jordan sitting right around 2.5K for a 9. The big difference for me, or 3K, sorry, 3K. The big difference is Michael Jordan Fleer rookie before like last year, this year was the rookie card. Nothing else was before it. Charizard base Unlimited 9 was like the third, or if you think about Japanese, it was the fourth or the fifth printing of Charizard. And then you think about Cardass, it was the sixth or seventh printing of Charizard if you include Top Sun. Like, so many other Charizards had already come out by the time base Unlimited Shadow Charizard's coming out. So I feel like when people go to Charizard, they're like, why do I want to stick with the Unlim one? I'm gonna push, like, if I'm gonna spend $1,000, I'm just gonna get a shadowless one or a first ed. Like, you can't get a first ed one, but you can get a nice, decent condition shadowless one for $1,000. And yeah, I feel like that's the big difference. The 86 Fleer was the rookie card before the new star cards where people started pumping those. Technically, it was printed maybe the year prior, was interesting, but yeah, I think that's the main thing. If there was 2 other Jordan cards printed in prior sets, there might be some similarities there. There might be something, but the 7,000 cards is a lot of cards. I think there's well more than 7,000 people that want the card, but also there isn't 7,000 people that could probably afford the card. In Pokemon, I don't even
Or,
know if there's
or,
that many.
or think they can afford it.
Yeah, or think they can.
Can't afford
But
it.
yeah, it's 7,000 people. Like, that's a huge number to me. 7,000 people in the hobby wanting to buy the card. That's a shit ton. There's not that many people. There's,
I feel
according to
such
this,
the
there's,
opposite. I feel like
yeah,
that's hardly any competitor that are in the hobby right now would want it.
it's a lot of people. 7,000 people. That's so niche. How many people per state is that? That's 140 people in Michigan. Yeah, I need a PSA 9 base unlimited Charizard. The fuck? Like, that's like 2 per county. That's insane. Um, I don't know. I can't see it. It seems like,
And
obviously I think there's maybe 7,000 of them out there, including all the cracked ones. But wow, I don't know.
do you do you
That's a
do you think people really weigh into the fact that it's not the absolute first? Because for a lot of people, it is the first.
yeah. I think that definitely. That's why it's only $900 and not $5,000 in a 9. Like the Shadowless one's $4,000 to $5,000.
It's interesting that PSA has it as in their list. They have it before the UK version, the Shadowless version, and the first edition version. They have it in a bit of a wonky order. I guess I don't
Yeah,
even
it's all
know.
jacked.
The order doesn't make sense, but yeah, there is quite a few before it. A lot of the Japanese, but again, it's English and it's an actual TCG card. And most people, I think, just synonymously think of it as the first Charizard. Like a lot of the people that don't really know that much about it, but would want it because they had it when they was a kid, or they traded it with the brother and never had it again, and that kind of stuff. Don't even know there's a first edition or there's a Shadowless version. A lot of people that aren't really in it don't even know Shadowless is a thing. Like they've never even heard of
Yeah,
that, let
yeah,
alone a
it's
UK
niche.
print. So yeah, I don't know. It's always going to be desirable, whatever the price is, I guess. So to specifically answer it, do you think it's undervalued right now or not?
No,
I think it is.
certainly not.
Interesting.
No shot. It hit $6,000 in a night. Those people got fisted. Like, no loop. There's like, this is very normal. Like, for a 7,000 pop card to still be $1,000 in today's market is awesome for the hobby,
Amazing. Amazing.
but not undervalued. Like, that's the card. Like, that's market. Like, all day. Like, if there's a card that you could check off, like, yeah, that's market price. One of those mother effing cards probably sells every 2 days. And that thing is just
Yeah, they move
sailing
around a
right
little
around
bit.
$1,000. Just
Yeah.
coasting. Consistent mother effer right there for a while. There's enough demand in a 7,000 pop to carry that thing at $1,000 for how long? It's been that price for over a year, I'd say. Maybe it was $1,500 2 years ago, but yeah, I don't know. Crazy. It's exceptional.
You're saying they're floating around 1,000. So 70,000, 700,000, 7 million. That puts us at about $7 million worth of PSA 9 Charizards out in the market.
Yep. And what's the price on Jordan Fleers? 29.59 times, call it 18,000. 53 mil.
So what's that, like 8 times or whatever? Yeah. 7.5.
But again, that's the rookie Jordan.
Who's greater?
Charizard or Jordan? Jordan changed a lot more lives. Influenced more people to do great things.
Crazy thought. Johto Jake said, for all viewers that don't want to throw up, skip to 7:30. He was talking about a little conversation a couple of weeks back there, and basically said
More mayonnaise, probably.
doesn't want to talk about mayo. So I'll shut up. I've already mentioned it 3 times. You guys are the ones that keep bringing it up. I love it. I talk about it all day, but you guys keep bringing it up. You want to talk about it, so whatever. Okay, so let's skip to this one. Professor Birch said, if people spent as much time on their collections and business like they do on Discord, they'd be closer, would have already accomplished their goals and milestones. Did you talk about that one with Java?
It sounds semi-familiar. Well, it definitely wasn't this comment. Because this came out after, well, this was 13. Yeah, no.
Maybe Java talked about it in the video I watched of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. You know, if the goals and milestones is the absolute be all and end all of the hobby, then yes. But for me, like, I like talking to Discord. That's part of it for me. I like seeing you guys and seeing what you're doing and what everyone's up to, and being able to like feel like I'm part of it. And I love celebrating people's successes and just talking through stuff. So for me, it's like a big part of it. And I wouldn't say that overrides or my goals or milestones, or that my goals and milestones override that, or it's just like one other piece of the jigsaw puzzle for me. What do you think? How do you feel on that?
I think Discord's good for turning off the brain. All of us need to do it. I think if Discord didn't exist, I probably would be closer to burning out or burnt out. Like it would be not as enjoyable being able to sit back, talk to the bros, see what's going on. If I want to see markets that aren't moving, I'll go into the MetaZoo tab. I don't know. I just really like being able to decompress through Discord, and that would be counterproductive if Discord didn't exist and I got burnt out. I wouldn't be able to accomplish the goals anyways. Because in my opinion, the way I read this is that you're wasting time on Discord when you could be flipping and getting more money. All of us got to turn our brains off sometimes. Like Mr. Beast even says, like, that is a reason he watches anime and plays video games. He does everything very calculated. All of his time during the day is calculated, but he needs to set a time aside to turn off the brain and just zen out. Like, watch anime, play video games, go on Discord for a minute, look at stupid memes. You gotta save some time for yourself. So I do think it's productive in a sense that it has given us a chance to decompress, and it is related to the hobby, and there is further networking inside of there. Yeah, I think it's good in moderation. Like, you don't want to be there every day, all day. That answer your question? Ready to move on?
I think so.
Okay. You look like you're
I'm
in a
just
deep
thinking.
thought.
The other thing with Discord is I feel like you can just touch on so many different things and areas. Like I'm in Discords for games that I play. I'm in Discords for like selling in like our little like Discord group that we're in, and just like so many. I mean, like so many now, and an hour spent in there could only be a few minutes in one of them, even though it's an hour because I'm spread throughout and I'm reading, I'm checking up, I'm responding to messages, that kind of stuff. I just feel like it's been, and even the messages, DMs and stuff, it's just been such a huge positive on my year and in my hobby in so many different ways. Like I have a hard time thinking that it's something that I should switch off or I shouldn't spend too much time in or shy away from. It's been such a net positive for me. So I don't want to underestimate that too. Like it really
Yeah.
has had a good impact on my life. I would say more than bad. So I don't feel guilty for spending time in there in that sense. For a lot
Yep.
of different reasons. I've met a lot of really cool fucking people in there. Like a lot of really cool people that I
A few
love a lot.
dingbats.
Definitely a couple of dingbats in there as well. That's for sure. But I love them too. I mean, it's part of what makes it fun and unique. But yeah, I'll shut up.
Damazard TCG. Quaxley would be the best tasting Pokemon. Blue Duck, common. Agree to disagree. Not a fan of duck. You can't
What?
cook duck well done.
No,
So not a fan.
you wouldn't want it well done. What do you mean? Stop.
Yeah.
Don't start with the well done meat. The whole thing. We're not gonna do that today. We're talking about duck. If you, I
Duck.
will
I'm not,
swear to God, if I made you duck, you would mayo in your pants. Like you would absolutely love it. We'd do it right.
I've had duck. My cousin shot a duck.
Not Quaxley, you haven't.
Whatever.
You have not had Quaxley, and you've not done it cooked by me. I would make you amazing Quaxley. I'm 100% there for it. This comment, winner, chicken dinner.
Is duck better than you had venison?
I would choose duck over venison.
Yeah.
Taste wise, I think texture-wise, it could be a tough call, like you were saying, with it, being a little on the rarer side. But yeah, I'm pretty confident I choose duck over cooked properly.
You'd serve me that duck, and I'd put that bitch in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and that bitch would be done. And that
No,
would
you
be
wouldn't. Nope.
chef's kiss.
I wouldn't let
You
you.
have a microwave in your house?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd be good. I'd be all set. Air fry that duck, whatever you want of them. We'd get the unfinished job done.
You guys want to start some drama right now? Let's go.
What's your ideal steak?
Steak?
Yeah.
Do you mean
like
temperature?
beef, yeah. Yeah. Beef steak.
Biggest fillet I can find, brought to room temperature, cooked with butter and thyme, and topped with a little bit of salt and seasoning, and mid-rare. Nice and warm.
Room temperature?
You bring it to room temperature before cooking it. Get a real
Yeah,
nice
gotcha.
harsh sear on it. I was just tugging through the steps in my head, imagining when I cook it. I was visualizing it in my head, I guess.
What color meat? Rare? Medium rare, did you say?
Yeah, mid-rare. Yep. I'm okay with medium. I like medium too. Anywhere where we still have some texture and flavor there. The problem with well done is what a lot of people don't understand with meat, which is part of why you want to bring it up to room temperature, but you also want to rest it, is protein. There's so much protein in there. And protein, when you get it hot, it bounces around. Like the science behind it, like it is really like bounces around. But a good steak, you want it to be viscous. You want it to be soft and juicy and coat your tongue. You want the flavors and the textures there. So when you've got all these, you bring it, you get it really hot, and you overcook it, and it's dry, and it's hard for those molecules to and those proteins to really calm down and settle and feel good in and like taste good. So you just got to cook it right. Like there really is literal science behind it. So when I think of like you were saying with a well done steak, just like it's just not the best way you could have it, science wise, taste wise, texture wise, just experience wise. If you had a steak cooked really well, like not well done, but like cooked well in terms of the perfection, I really think you'd change your mind. Like a really good steak cooked medium, even not even like a medium rare. You could do a medium/medium well. Like you could even go that way and still have a little bit of pink, but still retain a lot of that calm, viscous, like just wonderful like flavor.
I think part of the problem is you've never had a well done steak at an expensive steakhouse.
I have cooked them. I've cooked millions of them. I've had loads of them. I've had leftovers. I've had them sent back, and I've eaten them for my dinner, so they don't go to waste. That kind of stuff. Like I've had a million well done steaks, and they're good. They're not great.
Oh, okay. We'll just agree to disagree on this one. So you make me a steak in 30 years when you go to another Collecticon.
I'd make you one. I made one a couple of days ago. I did some nice strips. I really like doing them in a red wine and balsamic reduction too, in a frying pan, and that I'm okay with being more well done because the flavors there from the reduction, that I'm, rosemary and garlic and red wine and balsamic, steamy and hot, and it retains its moisture, it retains its juice, and even though it's a little more well cooked, that I'm more inclined. But a grilled steak, you got to cook it right. Like it needs to be cooked right.
You ever put mayonnaise on your steak?
I don't think so.
I'm surprised. That's almost It's like the same thing as putting on pizza. My opinion.
Never
Both
say
criminal.
never. Never say never. I don't think it needs it.
Pizza needs mayonnaise. Oh my god, we can't go back to this. Jesus
Yes,
Christ.
absolutely.
It needs it. Oh my god, it needs.
So in the new year,
All
we're
right.
starting a food drama channel. January 2nd
Pizza.
is your first episode dropping.
Yeah, I'll let you take it with Doodles here.
Doodles and the membrane. Bro, I see you everywhere. I love it. Not getting your chase cards right off the back is actually healthier for the long term in the hobby. Business, yes. Hobby, no. Absolutely not. For me, the hobby is part of like getting what you want is the hobby. That's the satisfaction. I think there is an element of finding other things that you didn't know you want. So it might be that is maybe speaking to pretty vague comments. I'm not sure, how much I can put into his mouth there with it. But I like getting the cards that I want that I go for, and I feel not as good getting the cards that I didn't want. Like it feels fairly black and white for the most part. Sometimes I'll discover cards that I didn't know were in the set, because I haven't had spoilers or whatever. But I'm not 100% sold on this comment for sure. What about you? Like, do you feel like it's healthier for the hobby? Like, I feel like it's better for the business because you're gonna have to buy more packs or boxes or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's better for Pokemon Company International,
Mhm.
which is the company creating the hobby. So yeah, it's definitely better for that sense, but it sucks for me because like the most recent set one of the most recent sets 151, the Zapdos card I wanted. Couldn't imagine ripping packs to have to pull the card. I know it's not the ultra most rarest thing to get. I don't even know what the pack pull rate 1 in 370 or something. I'm guessing. But that's still a shit ton of packs. There's a lot of other things I'd rather do with my time than rip 370-ish packs and the amount of money that would dump into that. So for Pokemon Company International, great, but for Josh's hobby, toxic AF, terrible, not great.
In my head, like you're saying it, like 1 in 370 packs,
Yep.
but like every pack is 1 in 370 packs. So like for me, it's like 1 in 2. For like any set, it doesn't really matter what the odds are of pulling that card because I know that they're all against me. Like it's just like
Yeah.
look, like roulette, like it's 1 in 35 or whatever, 1 in 36, but is it? Like, is it really? Because if you roll the same one 36 times, are you gonna hit it one out of those times? Like, probably not. I don't know. It's random. It's literally, hopefully, it should be, and that's part of it. It should be random. So I opened a few packs of the first couple of sets and pulled the chase card of both the first sets in Scarlet and Violet, and I wasn't opening hundreds of packs. I'd only opened a few, and I hit it.
Yeah.
So like, is it still 1 in 370? Is it 1 in 100? Is it 1 in 500? Like, it's 1 in whatever you just happen to get it in. It is what it is. I'm just a bit more like it's whatever. Like the odds are just against you. If you get it, then you're lucky. You feel good about it. So I love pulling the chase cards. For me, often the chase card, my personal chase card, isn't usually the chase card that's like the most expensive that I would resell, grade or whatever. Um, it's normally the one that I like the most. So that's also like another thing where I'm not always sure what people are talking about when they say chase cards. I still don't think, even after all these years in the hobby, I don't think I fully understand what people mean when they say chase cards because I've heard it used in so many different contexts. And for me, it means different things too. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. This hobby is healthy for it, I guess. I guess there's some element of truth there.
Yep. Totally agree. Already went on that one. So I'm going to go to the next one. Dribzor. Love the name. Kanto is the only reason that Pokemon trading card game is maintaining popularity. Kanto. Yikes. Disagree. Pokemon trading card game is maintaining popularity. So PTCG, in my opinion, is the tournaments and all that such. I just saw a video, I think Pokemon Wonder just did, the rapid growth of people playing the game in the last few years, and they are not opening Kanto boxes. It is Scarlet and Violet, and it is the time to be alive, apparently, going to tournaments. So as far as collectors go, it helps for sure. That's a huge driver, Kanto. PTCG, gaming, the tournaments, nearly zero.
Maybe it's Kanto generation Pokemon. Maybe it didn't quite elaborate as much. I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can claw more out of that than what was given. I feel like it's a little bit like saying like burgers and nuggets are the only reason that McDonald's is popular. But yeah, because that's what they're really good at. That's what they do. And I feel like Kanto is something that Pokemon's really good at, and that's like what they're known for and what they do. Like we all love Kanto Pokemon and Johto Pokemon. It's the heart of it, right? It's like where it all began. It's the roots and the story and the everything we could ever dream of. The original 151, part of why this set's so cool. The original 151 is just immaculate. It's perfect. It's perfect. Literally perfect. They couldn't have done it any better. I can't think of any changes I would do to 151. Don't
I can think of a
well,
few.
Mr. Mime. There's a couple of little edits, but like not really. Like I kind of
Master
love,
Ball in English.
but even the stuff that I don't love and always missed or didn't quite hit the mark, that makes the other stuff feel so much better. Like that even shines a light on the other stuff and makes it seem better. So even that really in that sense is a good thing. You've got to have crap to see the good. I don't know. I think we'd need more clarification on that, but it's popular. It's always going to be popular forever. It's Kanto. J Franks, real Poke investors buy CGC 10s. They're undervalued compared to PSA 10s and will likely increase in value over the long haul. However, most people who call themselves investors are just collectors in denial. A lot going on there. I think the root of it here is he's saying CGC 10s are cheaper than PSA 10s. The gem mints are, for the most part. I know there's some pristines that have, bouncing all over the place, but PSA 10s may also go up in value in the long haul. Just because CGC 10s do doesn't mean other ones don't. So I don't know. I don't love that conversation because I don't think I know. I don't think I have a good understanding of what's going to happen with those. I'm optimistic that things are going to do well, but I see some prices going low and all over the place. So I don't know if I feel confident in really having much to say about that comment, really. What about you?
Jeez. This one tickles my pickle, man. This is a good one. So real Pokemon investors buy CGC 10s.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, a real Pokemon investor is somebody who is not blindly buying Pokemon cards, is somebody that was in the hobby, knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So real Pokemon investors buy CGC 10s, okay. They're undervalued compared to PSA 10s, fact. And will likely increase in value over the long haul. That's where it's sticky. So it's tough. Like you're gambling.
Right.
And you might be better off buying sealed product, to be honest, because who knows how long that could take. I feel like the return on some sealed product could be faster than buying some CGC 10s, but I don't think you're wrong in the sense that it could go up because there are really low pop CGC cards. The collectors also, so it's like it's a two-sided thing. I think big time collectors see value in CGC 10s, and then some Poke investors also. But I do agree. Most people who call themselves investors are just collectors in denial. Yeah, there's a lot of PSA hype boys, and
Mm-hmm.
it's I 100% can understand that. It's interesting. I don't know if they're in denial, but they're more so tunnel vision than in denial. I'd say it's just PSA is all that matters. I don't need to deal with the other thing. PSA sells the most. I don't need to deal with the other thing. PSA, PSA. Sure, makes sense. But at me as a buyer, somebody buying cards, give me the CGC Pristine all day. Collector me, give me the CGC Pristine all day because generally it's selling cheaper at auction over a PSA 10. Nuts. Yeah, and I think, like he says, I think there is a potential to increase, but also PSA 10s could increase. So I don't know the marginal difference, but if you're getting in at a super low point on CGC 10s, because there is some really effing cheap CGC 10s, yeah. And also, like, then the whole battle is, well, CGC Gem Mint 10s aren't really Gem Mint cards. Well, you're talking to the guy I have so many different freaking slabs. I've cracked so many PSA slabs, sent them to CGC, so many CGC slabs, sent them to PSA. I've cracked recently PSA slabs, sent them to CGC. They all downgraded. They're all like PSA 9s, and they all just went to like 9s and 8s and got completely wrecked. Like it's so intertwined, and people look at it like, oh, they changed the 9.5 to an auto 10. Like, it's like, yeah, it was a gem mint, and it's still a gem. Like, they didn't change the label, like the grading scale of that card. They were both gem mint. The number changed, sure, but it's just like it's so intermingled, and you get wrecked both ways, cross grading each way. I have terrible looking PSA 10s. I have some CDC 10s that don't look good. It's just so much of a mix. People just get too intertwined in the label, and it's crazy. And who the company is. I digress.
It's just it's such a gray area. I mean, everything you said there, like, there still isn't really a clear answer, is there? Like, do this or don't do that, or just invest in, like we said earlier, just invest in what you got, and what your educated guess would be of if you want to invest. But it also, it says collectors in denial. Like, just buy what you want to friggin' buy. It's the hobby. You just enjoy it. Like, have what you have, display what you want, put in your binder what you want. It's no one's getting hurt. Don't spend money you don't have. Buy what you want to do with the money you do have and enjoy it. Rip packs, trade cards, great stuff. Don't do whatever you want. Look at other people, celebrate other people's success. It's fun. Just be involved.
Yeah. Yep. Did I read that one? No, you did. Jodo Jake. Gonna make this our final spicy topic of the evening. Johto Jake. PSA is not grading harder. You're just a bitch. I just added that. Sorry. PSA is not grading harder. You're just a bad pre-grader, or you're getting too lazy to properly pre-grade. PSA is not grading harder. You're just a bad pre-grader, or you're getting too lazy to properly pre-grade. Feel effing attacked. I haven't sent a PSA since I got wrecked by them in whatever February. So yeah, this is a sore subject for me. I guess I'm a bad pre-grader. I'm just gonna take my
that
lumps.
that was an extreme example too, though. That wasn't just a regular like little submission of a few cards that if you're gonna submit and stuff. Like you sent like a lot of cards. That was like a big submission, right?
Live and learn. 500 cards, never again. Yeah, it's insane. I feel like most people submitting 500 cards are just doing it as middlemen and not for their own cards. But I'm sure there's a few people doing that many.
I don't know. It'd be close. When I'm thinking about it, I could probably go on the account and check. I don't know if I've submitted that many in total. And you submitted that in one submission. So, like, for me, thinking about PSA and pre-grading, like, I've had fantastic grades from PSA. Like, and yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I'm not as lazy as a pre-grader, like Jake's saying. I do take the time because I have the time. I'm not doing 500. Like, I can take the time and go through. I spent 2 nights pre-grading my last few submissions, 2 solid nights, looking through, putting them in sleeves, card savers, labeling them, keeping track of my Excel sheet of what it was in the form. Like, I'm very meticulous with my process. And I think of cards that I wanted to sell, I think I'm at like 100% hit rate from like 5 submissions for 10s. Like for ones that were outside of my collection. So it's possible. And yeah, I haven't submitted a bunch lately. But I had cards come back from New Jersey and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's like anything. It could be new staff, it could be this, it could be that, things causing this or that, but just send clean cards. I don't know what to tell you. Just send
10s.
Just grade 10s. I mean, just send the cleanest stuff. And if you don't know how to determine what clean is, ask someone. Like, throw pictures in Discord. Hey, do you think this is a 10? Hey, do you think this is a 10? Like, send me 500 pictures. I'll look at them. I'll tell you. I don't care. Like, there's a million people that are supportive in the hobby, in the Discords and stuff. Just reach out.
You should make a channel called "Is This a 10?" That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, why not? I think it's a great idea.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, I should have did that for my 500 cards. Sending them over to you.
Boom, 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 boom. Just pictures. That's pictures. That's a picture.
Oh yeah, that's a 10. That's a 10. It's a 6. It's a 5. It's a 4. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, y'all.
Oh, God, that was emotional, that video.
You're telling me. Appreciate the love and support, everybody. Drop your spicy comments like you have been. Awesome stuff down below. Live next week, Tuesday evening.
Woo!
Right? Yep.
Excited.
That'll be dope.
Join us. And another little one before we forget, you'll be able to join as a Slabbed podcast member, as a spicy slabber. Shout out to Felipe de Souza. He is our first ever member of the channel. And during that live stream, you'll be able to join as a member. Custom badges, custom emojis, the full shebang. It's only $99.99 a month. And you get all that
easy
stuff.
payments.
So use Klarna. You'll be good to go. So love you guys. We'll see you in there. Enjoy it. Spicy comments. See you there.
Peace.